So I've had the DJI Action 4 for a little while now. And in this video, I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why you should buy it. And if you watch till the end, I'll tell you a couple reasons why maybe you should not. What's up everybody, my name is Dan, welcome to Freely Roaming. If you're new around here, you'll find tips and tricks all about full-time traveling by land in a vehicle, living off the grid, as well as how to make content as a mobile travel creator. My family has been doing exactly that since 2008, and we started this channel to share all that we've learned in that time. If you want to find out more about our travel vlogs, it is at youtube.com/mollymish. So for about the last month since I've owned the Osmo Action 4, I've been making a lot of videos testing the camera out. Having been an action camera owner for a long time, I want to tell you 5 reasons why you should buy this camera versus anything else that's on the market today. So let's go right into it. The number one biggest reason why you should buy this camera is its sensor size. Sensor size relates to a handful of things about your action camera. One of the most important things is that it relates directly to the low light capabilities. The other thing to be aware of when it comes to sensor size is that you can actually have too big of a sensor for an action camera. The reason for that is, for an action camera to work properly, it is supposed to have a fixed focus. And as the sensor gets bigger, the minimum focusing distance becomes farther and farther away, thereby requiring a motorized focusing system which can add bulk to your action camera. Compared to the Osmo Action 3 or the GoPro 11, which is the latest GoPro out today, it doesn't sound like that big of a difference, but the Osmo Action 4 has a 1/1.3 inch sensor versus the Osmo Action 3 with a 1/1.7. And the GoPro 11 has a 1/1.9 inch sensor. If that doesn't make any sense to you, let me give you some specific specs on exactly what sizes they are. A 1/1.3 inch sensor on the Osmo Action 4 has a dimension of 10 millimeters wide by 7.5 millimeters tall, compared to the Osmo Action 3, which is 7.6 millimeters wide and 5.7 millimeters tall. And that is bigger than the GoPro 11, which is 6.4 millimeters wide and 5.6 millimeters tall. For the Osmo Action 4, that is 174% bigger in the sensor size than the Osmo Action 3. And from the Action 3 to the GoPro 11, that is another 120% size jump. So it is a pretty big difference. Another important thing has to do with the pixel density of these sensors. One of the main factors for a camera sensor to be good in low light has to do with the pixel pitch of the pixels that are on the sensor itself. And the pixel pitch is defined by the distance between the center of one pixel to the center of the pixel next to it. In the Osmo Action 4, the pixel pitch is 2.4 microns. Just to give you an idea, if you know about other cameras, the Sony Alpha 7 IV has a pixel pitch of 3.76. And the king of all low light mirrorless cameras from Sony is the Sony Alpha 7S Mark III. That's got a pixel pitch of 8.4. Compared the Osmo Action 4 to the Osmo Action 3, the pixel pitch is 150% bigger. And compare that with the GoPro 11, the pixel pitch is 218% bigger than the GoPro 11 compared to the Osmo Action 4. And the reason for that is, on top of a bigger sensor, the Osmo Action 4 also has less pixels on that said sensor. It may sound like a really good feature for the GoPro 11 to have a 27 megapixel sensor, but that just means that there are more pixels packed into a smaller sensor. Of course, there are a lot of other factors that goes into having good low light, especially with these newer cameras these days. There's a lot of computational photography going on that can use different tricks to get more light, or take multiple exposures to combine the lighting to create a better picture. But still, the raw capability of the sensor still has a lot to do with it. And that is why the Osmo Action 4 has such good low light capability compared to the Osmo Action 3 and the GoPro 11. The second reason why you should buy the Osmo Action 4 is its superior battery life. In their marketing material, the Osmo Action 4 can record 4K video for up to 150 minutes. And of course, in real life, it's going to be a little bit less, but in my experience, I can easily record a couple hours, no problem. That's actually a little bit less than the Osmo Action 3, which is 160 minutes, 10 minutes longer than the Osmo Action 4. But like I said, this is just a factory spec. Your actual day-to-day use will be different. And the fact that there are more capabilities for the Osmo Action 4 makes that 10-minute difference not that significant. If you compare that with the GoPro 11, and I mean the standard battery in the GoPro 11, has a dismal 70-minute record time in 4K, and even less in its higher 5.3K. And the number 3 reason why you should buy the Osmo Action 4 is its mobile app. It uses the same mobile app as the Osmo Action 3, which is the DJI Mimo app. DJI has a lot of experience developing mobile apps for all of its product lines like drones, cameras, gimbals. They have a huge software development team developing these apps, giving them loads and loads of experience making mobile apps just like this. The app connects really quickly, the user interface is really well designed, and the user experience is excellent. And my experience with a GoPro counterpart, which is the GoPro Quick app, has always been slow to connect, laggy, borderline unintuitive when it comes to the user experience. So for these reasons, I feel like the DJI Mimo app has a clear edge on the GoPro Quick app. And the number 4 reason why you should buy the Osmo Action 4 compared to the other cameras on the market is a smooth user interface. DJI clearly has optimized a lot of its software and hardware components on this camera for this user interface to work really smoothly. From booting up the camera to swiping gestures, the intuitive interface lets you swipe up, down, side to side. And the other bonus is that you can actually use the front screen as a touch screen as well. And even though the GoPro also has a front screen, but it isn't a touch screen. It's a feature that it just simply doesn't have. And lastly, the number 5 reason why you should buy an Osmo Action 4, and this goes for the Osmo Action 3 as well because this feature is the same on both of these cameras, is that instead of requiring you to use a dedicated proprietary device to interface external microphones, the Osmo Action 3 and 4 has a standard USB-C jack. Anything that works on a smartphone or a computer when it comes to audio devices works automatically on these cameras. Gone are the days of having to buy dedicated audio interfaces for your action camera if you go with the DJI Osmo Action. GoPro, on the other hand, still requires you to buy either this really awkward dongle that plugs into their USB-C port, or you're supposed to buy the Media Mod, which is a case, a microphone, and a audio interface built into this device. And it costs $70. And if you wanted to use a third-party cage and still get external audio, you have to buy their really awkwardly shaped dongle and have to buy a specific device that lets you mount that dongle after it's plugged into the USB port in order to plug in external microphones. What I love about this is that you can use digital audio directly, which means that you're no longer depending on the preamps that are built into these cameras. These cameras being so small, the preamps are not that high of quality. By using either the microphone preamp or the preamps that are built into the dedicated audio interfaces on these USB-C devices, you can ensure that you get really good quality audio as long as you buy a good external audio component. So you're no longer limited to the audio interface that's built into the camera itself. You can click on the link in the corner to see my dedicated video that talks specifically about connecting external microphones to your Osmo Action 3 or 4. So those are the 5 reasons why you should buy an Osmo Action 4. Now there are actually a couple of reasons why you might want to stay with the GoPro 11. If you're looking for higher resolution than 4K, GoPro sensor is capable of shooting 5.3K video. Secondly, it also has an 8:7 aspect ratio, which is closer to a square than the 4:3 aspect ratio sensor that's on the Osmo Actions. That means you can crop your video to either a horizontal video or a vertical video without having to shoot twice. And that same sensor, because it is very high resolution, it can give you 27 megapixel stills. Keep in mind that all these higher resolution capabilities comes at a cost of having not as good of low light. And if you're in the GoPro ecosystem, and especially if you're subscribed to their monthly cloud service, that might be another reason why you want to stay with GoPro, because Osmo Action is not compatible with that, nor do they have a similar service. And lastly, you may want to stay with GoPro because it is an American company versus a foreign company. However, keep in mind that they are designed in America, but all of our manufacturing is actually in Mexico and China, if that makes a difference to you. So there you go. There's 5 reasons why you should buy the Osmo Action 4 and 4 other reasons why you might want to stay with GoPro. And if you stay for this long in the video, let me give you a couple of bonus reasons why Osmo Action 4 is worth buying. Bonus reason number 1 is that the Osmo Actions have a dedicated color temperature sensor right there in the letter O. That's going to give you really good automatic white balance, and also that automatically senses when you're underwater, so you don't have to do a lot of color grading when it comes out. And one of the reasons why so many people love the Osmo Action lineup, starting with Osmo Action 2, is this magnetic mounting system. People just love this setup. because it is so easy to pop a camera on and off, and when it's on, it is super secure, but it's still so easy to take on and off. That's compared to that little two-prong system like this one that GoPro has. It has become industry standard, so everybody uses it, but at the same time, this is a far superior connecting and disconnecting system by any camera standards. So there you go, there's a couple of bonus reasons, but we're not done yet. If you stay all the way till the end, let me give you 3 reasons why maybe you do not want to buy this Osmo Action 4 camera. Number 1, it kind of takes low resolution photos. The photos are only 12 megapixels, but depending on what you use it for, that might be enough. But if you're gonna do a lot of cropping into your photo, mainly most people crop into their action camera photos because the angle is so wide. If you wanna see something more front and center, it's better to crop into your photo. If you crop into a 12 megapixel photo, there's not gonna be a lot of pixels left in your photo. Now compared to a GoPro 11 with 27 megapixels, that's far better to be able to crop into a still photo when you start from a higher resolution. Another reason why you may not want to buy this Osmo Action 4 is that you can actually buy the Osmo Action 3 right now. If you buy it refurbished, which is what I did with this one, this is $120 cheaper than the Osmo Action 4. Even though it doesn't quite have the low light capability that the Osmo Action 4 does, the Osmo Action 3 has a lot of that same capability. Namely, it uses the same really user-friendly DJI Mimo app. It has that same magnetic mounting system, the really smooth user interface, the same USB-C audio interface jack that's compatible with lots and lots of different camera microphones, and just a good overall camera. I bought this one refurbished, and when it came to me, it was indistinguishable from a new one, except for the box that says refurbished. And finally, and I swear this is the last thing I'm going to talk about in this video, the reason why you may not want to buy either of these cameras is that, well, the GoPro 12 is coming soon, so maybe you want to wait a little bit. But if you don't, I'll put links to both of these cameras down below so you can go check it out. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.